Hello. This is part 2 of where I was showing my stash. I had these big quart, whichever size, buckets plus some of my yarn stash, which I guess it looks big, but it feels small to me. I'm gonna go ahead and keep going through that. And the reason I'm making this is because I love watching yarn stash videos. So I added more yarn stash videos to the internet. Okay, and this one is actually an older yarn, and I would love to find more of it in other colors. It is a stiffer yarn, and I was thinking about maybe making some like decorative Christmas trees out of it for next year. But it's so pretty; it's hard to use it just because. Oh, look how pretty this is. Even on my camera, it picks up all these like the gold in the yarn. But I actually found this at a thrift store. It is the Victorian Christmas Gold. It is, like I said, kind of stiff, so I wouldn't make something wearable out of it, but I definitely want to make some Christmas decoration. It's Balsam 1951 is the color. 95% acrylic, 5% metallic wrap. Super pretty, so I'm just going to flash the prettiness in front of the camera. I absolutely love this yarn. Super sparkly. And this is a partial skein. Okay. These two, I'm going to pull these both out at the same time. This is the mandala, Lion Brand mandala in Serpent is the name, and I actually made a virus shawl and 2 hats, which I can show in another video out of this. Which I found weird about these is this one, even though they're both mandalas, they're both made of the same material supposedly. This one is super soft. The shawls and hats came out super soft. This one, which is Sphinx, I also made a shawls, and I'm going to make a hat out of it eventually, but it's actually a lot stiffer, and it's just not, it's kind of scratchy, so hopefully it turns out better once I wash it. Now I was actually considering just cutting this up, because there's like this green in here. I thought I liked it, and then halfway through the shawl took forever because I kind of fell out of love with the yarn, even though I love the pattern. So I might actually have never cut up a cake before, so this might be the first one I cut up. Because it's just pretty colors, just not together. Don't like them together at all. This one is another partial. It is, I want to say it's a loops and threads. I have a picture of it on Facebook probably somewhere. I can go and look. But it's a baby yarn. It was one of those 1,000-yard baby yarns from Michaels, and I actually made the midwife pattern out of it in my first video for this. I said where I frogged the variegated yarn. This is what I actually ended up making that baby blanket out of. This one I should actually need to add to a project bag in the closet. I think I have some more of this type of yarn. These were actually from Dollar Tree, how I got the other ones at Dollar Tree. And these aren't the best. But, I mean, these ones are actually from Dollar Tree. They're not the best yarns. Like, they're pretty, and that's what draws you in. But they're really a pain to work with, and this I'm actually making a wreath out of. You can see. And I actually made a really, like, pretty but obnoxious 4th of July scarf, and I did not finish the wreath because it's just a slow, painful project. But I love this. It's pretty, but I also hate it because it's a pain. And these I actually wanted to make like water bottle holders out of, and my first attempt did not go great, and actually took Dollar Tree forever to get rid of all of these that they had. Like, they were there for a good 6 months, and the yarn, when it does go in there in the spring, typically just kind of goes fast. This one is just kind of a leftover one. I could probably get another hat out of it, but I actually I have no clue what it is. It was in a big plastic bag in the clearance section of Michael's. No wrap on it, but there was like 4 of these. I made a big scarf with the same motif as the midwife blanket, but this, you can see I was practicing some knitting on it. That was one of my first attempts, and I just never rocked it, so I'm going to do that real quick. Oh, and it's stuck. I'll deal with that later. But that's no clue what it is. It's pretty. It's soft. Definitely a bulky. No clue what it is. And this is another one I got unlabeled. The Michaels had, I think they must have been used in some of their craft classes. I already used a lot of them, but they had, I want to say it's a Lion brand, but I'm not totally sure. But they had a bunch of these, like maybe a few yards were used, and they were just sitting on the shelves like this. So I found a manager and I was like, hey, how cheap can I get these? And I think I paid probably like $1 or $2 a skein, which is definitely cheaper than what all the ones I bought would have been. And these, I actually have another one in the closet that I just bought that I haven't added to these because I guess different colors were on clearance at different times. Karen Chunky Cupcakes with the little pom-poms on it. I love these. I had another one, but I had my mom, who also crochets, make my kid. I asked her to make him a hat, and these actually make 2 baby hats. And it was like a pumpkin color that I had as well. And then I bought the lime one the other day. This is another, it came from a thrift store bucket. I have no clue what it is, and I've made little scrubbies with it. It's super soft. I'm wondering if it's actually like a real animal fiber. I love it. It's just ugh, word vomit. But there's just not a lot there, but it's so soft. Maybe eventually I'll find out what it's made out of. But it definitely feels like it's not acrylic. This is another, came in how I started my stash. I actually ended up buying a big old trash bag of yarn at a flea market for, I guess the guy's wife was destashing and just kind of stuck it in this guy's booth. But I bought a huge black garbage bag for like $3. Yeah, $3, and it had like tons of knitting needles and crochet hooks and yarns in it. So that was awesome, and that's actually how yeah, it's like a thick, really orange fall looking color that I will eventually make either, I'm thinking it'll be more of a decor item type yarn. Another thrift store yarn. This one, which I think they probably still sell it. It's a Joann's. Joann sells Big Twist. Big Twist, Chunky, and Brown. It'll probably get a hat or 2 out of it, depending on if I make them adult or child size. Yeah. Just one regular old. Oh, you can still see the price tag from the bucket of yarn I bought. These, I actually have no clue what they are. They were in that big trash bag I bought that started my stash. And I've played around with them, and I want to make something with them. I just haven't quite had the inspiration or whatever of what to make them. I don't know what brand they are. I just know they're pretty, and they kind of give me like a 70s kind of vibe. And they're some greens and some blues, and they're pretty small, thinner ones. And maybe I can make some socks or something out of them. Don't know yet. But there's some yellows and the greens and the blues and all these pretty thready yarns. Oh, there's a stray. It's a dark green one, like a Christmas tree green. Oh, and these are more Dollar Tree ones from a few years ago, the first time they had them. They're just Bernat Handicrafter crochet threads, and I keep telling myself I'll make like doilies and things. And I have made some like produce bags out of these, but I just haven't gotten around to using them because little needles can be kind of a pain. And then, oh, another one of those, another pile in a brown. I really got to get through those. Those are like, if I got rid of these or even just like sold them on Marketplace or something, I could get them out of my stash, because I don't know, they're taking up half a bucket. And then the last two for this bucket. This was a patrons sock yarn. I started crocheting a sock, and I'm learning to knit with the goal of doing socks, but my first crochet sock, I was trying to make the baby some socks, just did not. It turned out great at first, and then when I got to the ankle, it was just, I think it was the heel that was catching me up. So, and then this one is definitely, I don't think this one had any English on it, but it's definitely a sock yarn. It says sock and wool on it. So I'm gonna guess that says 75% wool and then 25% something else. Flip it around so we can see. Yeah. So I'm thinking some of these single, this is from a thrift store, so I'm thinking some of these single ones as I'm able to kind of figure out how to make knit socks, which I just started learning to knit. I've been crocheting forever, but ta-da! Yep, and that was the last of it. Actually, behind me on my coffee table, I actually have this. These old vintage glasses actually make great little yarn bowls, and you can see I'll probably never buy this again. Maybe if the price got down to just like maybe $2. Like, it's soft, it's pretty, and worth the money. I would not buy this again unless I found it for like $2 or less. Yeah, I use one of these for yarn balls. You can see the brand. I think it's from Route 50s or so. Yeah, but anyway, that's part 2 of my yarn stash, and I will link part 1 in the comments, not the comments, the description, and get back with another one really soon.